Okay, hello. So we're looking at LeetCode question 203, remove linked list elements. Given the head of a linked list and an integer val, remove all the nodes of the linked list that has node val equals the target value and return the new head. So here we have three examples: 1, 2, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because the target integer value is 6, we kind of delete the nodes with value 6, and we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as our resultant linked list. Example 2, we see here we're given an empty linked list, and so it doesn't really matter what the target value is, we just return an empty linked list as well. Example 3, given the linked list 7777 and an integer target value of 7, we pretty much want to delete all the elements in the linked list, and so we return an empty linked list. So here are some constraints. The number of nodes in the list is in the range 0 to 10 to the power of 4, and the node values ranges from 1 to 50, and the target value integer is between 0 to 50. Okay, so intuitively, I think we should have a dummy node because it takes care of an example like example 3, where if we have 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, we having a dummy node, we point that dummy node to the first node in the linked list. This is head. Let's just denote it with the letter H. Yeah. And this is the dummy node. Let's call it prev for previous. Right? And then in the end, after we finish our traversal, we just return the dummy nodes dot next. So we just return prev dot next. Yep. So what we want to do in this case, let's do this points to none. Okay. So what we can do here is traverse through the linked list and then check if the value of the node is equals to matches our target value, right? So if it does, what we want to do is to point our previous nodes dot next to the node that we're looking at dot next. So starting from the beginning, if we start off from here, what we can do is basically check, have like a current, start off from this position, let's call it current, and then we do something like current dot next, we check if it's equals to the value val. If it is, what we want to do is to set current dot next to current dot next dot next. If it is not the same, let's clear this board. If, like in this case, in the case of example 1, if it's not the same, current it's not the same, then what we want to do is to move on to the next node, right? Like this is safe because it's not equal to the value 6. So current dot next is just, we can just keep moving like the next value, current equals to current dot next. Right, so with that said, let's start implementing this. So first we need to create our dummy node, right? So to do that, calling it prev, we don't have to pass in anything because the dummy node's value does not really matter. And then we have to kind of, oh sorry, I keep saying kind of, we have to set the dummy nodes dot next to the head, which is our original linked list, to kind of like link the things up. So prev dot next equals to head, and then we want one pointer to kind of, current pointer to kind of do the traversal, and so we do something like car prev. Okay, so we have that down, and now our condition for traversing is while current dot next, right? Because we basically want to stop when current dot next reaches, like becomes none. Yeah, okay. So yeah. Okay, so now we can start checking, right? So the first node is kind of the first node's value that we want to compare it against is basically current dot next, right? If current dot next dot value is the same, it matches our target value, what we want to do is to set basically the current dot next to current dot next dot next. That effectively deletes the current dot next because we kind of skip one. Okay, is there anything else we should do after deletion? Else, okay, let's see. What should we do other than setting it? Let's try drawing it. Okay, so we have this diagram. I think we use this example here. Next, current starts from here, dot next dot val is next, we set it to this. Okay, yeah, but so if that situation happens, we don't yet want to move current's position up, right? Because yeah, we kind of do another comparison, like going through the while, like through the while loop again and check current dot next dot val. Yeah, okay, so else we, like in this case, if it passes, so it doesn't go into the if condition, we want to kind of move, let's try a different color. We kind of want to move current to point to this next node, Alright, so let's do that. It's current equals current dot next. Okay, at the end of it, we basically want to return previous dot next, because the starting node of the starting node where prev is pointing to is a dummy node. Let's try and see if this works. Okay, so okay, great. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.